Rob Lucci has always been the world government's most loyal dog, but what if he's secretly something way more powerful? We just watched him get absolutely demolished on Egghead by Luffy's insane Gear 5. Then he got into a fight with Zoro and lost that too. You'd think his career would be over, but that's not what happened. Instead of being thrown out for failing, Rob Lucci was personally praised by one of the 5 elders. So I have to ask, why does this guy get away with everything? Why is he so loyal, even after the government literally branded him a criminal? His philosophy of dark justice is basically that anything is okay if it protects the people in charge, which lines up perfectly with the evil celestial dragons. But what if it's more than just a job? What if it's in his blood? Today, we look at Mr. Bushido's theory, which we both talked about him getting stronger and stronger with every loss he faces, that could make him one of the government's ultimate weapons, a holy knight. And the reason he might qualify is a secret you will never see coming. Before we get to the next part, we have to do some investigating. To see why Lucci could become a holy knight, we need to know what they even are. So far, the manga has told us they're an elite guard in the Holy Land of Marijois, so powerful they can judge even the celestial dragons. Monkey D. Dragon, the most wanted man on the planet, said the real war only starts when the Holy Knights show up, which tells you their power is absolutely insane. People think they're even stronger than the Admirals, the divine executioners of the celestial dragons. Now, think about Rob Lucci. Since he was a child, his entire life has been about one thing. As a kid, he was sent to a kingdom where pirates took 500 soldiers hostage. A normal person would try to save them. Lucci killed all 500 hostages, deciding they were weak and deserved to die. Then he killed the pirate captain. This isn't just being loyal, it's a fanatical devotion to his own brand of dark justice. He doesn't just work for the world's government, he is its most ruthless belief. This makes him the perfect mirror for what we think the Holy Knights are. They aren't keeping the peace, they're protecting a divine and totally cruel system. Lucci already believes weakness is a crime, which is the same logic the celestial dragons use to treat everyone else like garbage. In his heart, he already thinks the celestial dragons are gods. But believing something isn't enough. You need an opening, and that's why Egghead was so important. On paper, Lucci failed his mission, but if you look closer, he was incredibly valuable. In the middle of a war, Lucci was feeding critical information directly to Saint Saturn, telling him everything that was happening inside the labo phase. His intel was so good that Saturn, one of the 5 most powerful people on the planet, personally told him, "You did good work." You don't say that to an agent you're about to fire. You say that to a valuable asset. Unlike at Eni's lobby, Lucci proved he was useful even when he lost. And in the world government, you don't throw away a weapon that loyal and that skilled. You give it a massive promotion. And this is where the theory takes a massive leap. To be clear, there is zero official evidence for this next part, but it's the most explosive piece of the entire theory. What if Rob Lucci has celestial dragon blood? Now hold on, I know what you're thinking. Lucci isn't a saint. He doesn't wear the bubble or act like a spoiled baby. But the theory isn't that he's a full celestial dragon. It's that he might be the secret son of one. Let's look at the facts. Male celestial dragons are known for being disgusting, taking countless wives, and having tons of kids with them. So what happens to all those kids? This theory says the world government has a secret, terrifying system for them. They can't all be nobles, so the most ruthless and powerful ones are forced into the one place that values crazy loyalty above all else, Cypher Pole. The absolute best of the best, the prodigies with a talent for cruelty, are sent to the most elite groups, CP9 and eventually CP0. This would explain Lucci perfectly. He was a prodigy who joined CP9 as a literal child. He was raised to be a weapon, not a prince. If this was true, wouldn't there be some kind of sign? This is where some fans point to his tattoos. On both of Lucci's arms is a weird tattoo, a box with an X through it. Oda has never said what they mean, but this theory claims it's a brand, marking him as the property of a celestial dragon family. He's part of the bloodline, but he's an asset, not an heir. While the tattoo is pure speculation, there are small hints in the story. We know from Oda that CP9 agent Kumajori's mother is also an agent. We also know about a CP agent named Lasky, whose kids were tested and put into Cypher Pole. This theory just imagines a much bigger, more evil system. A system that would create the perfect holy knight. a man with the divine blood, but none of the weakness of a real noble. If you are finding this insane One Piece theory as fascinating as I am, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. Your support helps me make more crazy videos like this. And now, let's see what happens when we put it all together. So what do we have when we combine all these clues? We have the perfect ideological match. Lucci's dark justice is exactly what the Holy Knights believe. We have the story to back it up. His performance on Egghead proved he's more valuable than ever. And finally, we have the mind-blowing, speculative bombshell of a hidden celestial dragon bloodline. When you put these three things together, this theory says Lucci's future is terrifyingly clear. He is the ultimate candidate, hiding in plain sight. He has the killer instinct, the loyalty, and maybe even the bloodline to get this insane promotion. This is where things get even crazier with his name. Rob means to steal. Some people have connected Lucci to the Latin word lux, which means light. That would make Rob Lucci the Light Stealer, which is another name for the morning star, Venus, and its Latin name, Lucifer. Oda said this was just a coincidence, but for a theory this wild, it's too good to ignore. And there have been other hints. In One Piece film Red, which isn't canon, Lucci is shown for a second standing with the Five Elders. For a lot of people, this was a massive Easter egg, maybe even foreshadowing Lucci joining the absolute highest level of the world government. All these pieces, his beliefs, his actions, the secret bloodline theory, the insane name meaning, and even non-canon hints, come together to create the aha moment. The reason Lucci could get promoted instead of punished is that, in a way, he's already one of them. Not because he's privileged, but because he has their blood and he turned himself into the perfect weapon they need. So what would this actually mean for One Piece? If this theory is real, it solves the biggest problem with his character, the power gap. Let's be honest, right now, Lucci can't beat Luffy, and he even lost to Zoro. But becoming a Holy Knight could be the biggest power-up in the history of One Piece. It wouldn't just be a new title, it would be a complete transformation. Maybe the next power-up will be the Covenant marking, like a deal with the devil, with Emu themselves, that gives them insane powers for their loyalty. It's total speculation, but it would mean Lucci could become a terrifying threat again. Imagine a Holy Knight Lucci. He trades his white CP0 suit for dark robes. His already insane Rokushiki and awakened zone powers get bounced by some new demonic ability. He would no longer be just an agent, he would be a divine killer. His first target could be anyone who defies the gods. Maybe we'd get a final, world-shaking rematch with Zoro, or a battle against the Revolutionary Army. From a humiliated agent to a divine executioner, the path for Rob Lucci to become a Holy Knight is a shocking, insane journey built on his ideology and a secret hidden in his blood. It reframes his entire story not as a failure, but as a long, bloody job interview for the most terrifying position in the world. But what do you think? Is this just a crazy fan theory, or has Oda been planning Lucci's dark promotion this whole time? Let me know your own theories in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to subscribe for more as we explore the final saga of One Piece. Thanks for watching.